Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this week's edition of the Blockchain Developer Weekly Digest, the show that keeps you up to date with everything that has happened in the blockchain development world. This week, for you, I have news from Solidity, Ethereum, ZeppelinOS, and Truffle. So, without any further ado, as usual, I'm your host George, and let's get started. First piece of news comes from Solidity. There is new version of Solidity 0.5.9. Pretty much there is nothing dramatic that has changed. This is a version, as the Solidity team has described it, version that's for the future. There are like ongoing integrations and furthering the integration with the UL optimizer and the SMT checker. So don't worry if you're using 0.5.8, it's still all compatible and all is good. Another piece of news comes from Ethereum, where there is now version 2.0.3. Ethereum now uses a forked version of Ethers.js in order to allow Viper contracts to be easily deployed even if they have decimal type as param in their constructor or in any other function that's there. This is going to be like this until version 5 of Ethers, where this is all going to be addressed by Ethers. In addition, there has been a lot of grooming to the Ethereum CLI, where a lot of code has been removed or rewritten to much efficient versions. So Ethereum as a CLI now is small, and this is ongoing process, and more and more optimizations and efficiencies are going to be added to the Ethereum CLI. And while I'm on the development frameworks, Truffle has a new version 5.0.20. Pretty much the major thing that has happened in this version is the removal of Sol-C compiler as a dependency when you're installing Truffle, because it is pretty much giving a lot of troubles for different platforms when you're installing Truffle. And because Truffle already has a way to snatch versions from the online repository, Sol-C is no longer automatically installed and compiled by the installation of Truffle. Last piece of news comes from ZeppelinOS. There is a new version, ZeppelinOS 2.3.0, and three of the most major things that are coming in this version are, first of all, Zeppelin CLI is now using interactive commands, which means that it's going to ask you for stuff when you're executing some of the functions. There is also a utility command for using create two opcodes, so it's going to be easier for you to create transactions based on this opcode through the command line interface. And last but not least, there is now a full DApp boilerplate coming from when you do through Zeppelin CLI. You can start your own full DApp through this boilerplate. And yeah, pretty much this was everything that has happened in this development week in the blockchain space. As usual, don't forget to follow me on Twitter at @gspassive. Don't forget to click the subscribe button and the notification bell in order for you to know whenever there is new video coming up. And as usual, just keep building, and see you next week. Bye.